children, myself Mosmi Das. Today we shall discuss about the internal structure of human ear. As you all know, ear it is one of the sense organ of our body, and it has two main functions, that is hearing and to maintain balance of the body. So let us see the internal structure of human ear. This is the internal structure of the ear. Human ear, it is divided into three parts: external ear, middle ear and inner ear. External ear consists of this outermost structure which we can see from outside, which is called pinna, and it is made of cartilage, bony cartilage. Apart from this pinna, in the external ear, just inside this pinna, there is a tube-like structure, a long tube-like structure. This is called external canal. This tube-like structure is called external canal. And this tube-like structure leads to a membranous structure, a membrane which is called eardrum. So the external ear consists of pinna, external canal and eardrum. Through these pinna, through this canal, along with this canal, the sound waves enters and it strikes this membranous structure of the eardrum. So this what happens in the external part of the ear. Let us see what are the different parts present in the middle ear. In the middle ear, the middle ear starts after the eardrum. And in the middle ear, there are three bones present which are called ear ossicles. Three bones present which are called ear ossicles. Joining with this eardrum, the first bone which is called hammer. This is called hammer, whose other name is malleus. Second bone which joins with this hammer, it is called angle. It is called angle, whose other name is incus. And the third bone, which is a very small bone, it is called stirrup, whose other name is stapes. Children, note that this stirrup or stapes, it is the smallest bone of human body. So, in the middle ear, these three bones are there, which are called ear ossicles. And there is a tube-like structure in the middle ear, which comes out from the middle ear and it enters into the throat region. That is, it joins the throat region. And this tube is called Eustachian tube. So these are the parts which are present in the middle ear. Let us see the structures which are present in the inner ear. This stirrup, it is joined with a membrane, with an opening which is covered by a membrane. With an opening which is covered by a membrane. So the structure is called oval window. So inner ear starts from oval window. And these oval window, it is present on a spiral round-like structure which has a turn of 2.5 turns, which turns for 2.5 turns. So this spiral round-like structure, it is called cochlea. An oval window, it is present on this cochlea. There is another opening, membranous opening on this cochlea, which is called round window. Now, just above the cochlea, there are three semicircular canals. And they are present perpendicularly to each other. One in horizontal direction and two of the canals in the vertical direction. So these semicircular canals, the base of these canals are swollen, and these are called ampulla. And on this, just below the semicircular canal, there is a short stain-like structure is a soft stick-like structure in between the semicircular canal and the cochlea. This one is called vestibular apparatus. Vestibular apparatus consists of two parts, utriculus and secundus. And children, from these cochlea, nerve fibers comes out, and from this ampulla of the semicircular canals also nerve fibers comes out, and from the vestibular apparatus also nerve fibers comes out. These nerve fibers are called auditory nerves. They join together, and these nerves carries the nerve impulses to the brain. Inside this cochlea and inside this semicircular canal, there is a liquid which is called endolymph. There is a liquid which is called endolymph. So children, these are the structures of internal ear. Let me repeat once again, what are the different structures which are present in the three parts of the ear. External ear consists of pinna, external canal and eardrum. Eardrum is also called tympanic membrane. Middle ear consists of three bones which are called ear-ossicles. They are hammer, angle and stirrup. Other name malleus, incus and stapes. Along with it, in the middle ear, there is a tube which connects the middle ear with the throat region, which is called the eustachian tube. The inner ear consists of cochlea, semicircular canals, vestibular apparatus. In the inner ear, there are two membranous opening which are called oval window and round window, and there are nerve fibers which are called auditory nerves. So these are the different parts of the ear which are present. Now let us see the function, how these structures functions and perform the functions of ear. Children, ear mainly performs two functions, hearing and maintaining balance of the body. Let us see first how ear performs the function of hearing. The sound wave, when it comes in front of the pinna collects the sound waves and directs the sound waves towards the external canal. The sound waves then reaches to this membranous structure which is called eardrum. So the sound wave, it hits the eardrum. When it hits the eardrum starts vibrating. When the eardrum starts vibrating because of the sound waves, these three bones, the hammer which is connected with the eardrum, it starts vibrating. When the hammer starts vibrating, then the angle which is connected with the hammer, it starts vibrating. When the angle starts vibrating, the stirrup which is connected with the angle, it starts vibrating. And children, these three bones, it acts as a lever. Then it does. The sound wave which is received by the tympanic membrane and transferred into the hammer, then to the angle, then to the stirrup. The magnification of the sound wave increases a lot when it reaches to the stirrup due to the lever action. So when finally the sound wave reaches to the stirrup, the magnification of the sound, it becomes very high. There is a tube which is called the eustachian tube. What is the function of this eustachian tube? This eustachian tube which is connected to the throat of our body. It maintains equal air pressure on both the sides of the tympanic membrane. When the sound hits the tympanic membrane and the vibrations are transferred to those ear-ossicles, then the air pressure should be equal on both the sides of the tympanic membrane, and that is maintained by the eustachian tube. Now let us see the different parts, how the parts of the inner ear works. The sound wave which has reached to the stirrup, that sound wave hits the vibrations that hits the oval window, membranous oval window. When the membranous oval window starts vibrating, then inside this cochlea, there are two types of liquid. One is called endolin and another one is called perilin. Actually, children, this cochlea, when you will see the internal structure of the cochlea, inside the cochlea, it is divided into three parts. Inside the cochlea, it is divided into three parts. Upper part and lower part is filled with a liquid which is called perilin, and the middle part of the cochlea is filled with a liquid which is called endolin. And in this middle part, which is called median canal, there is presence of sensory cells. Sensory cells are present in this median canal of the cochlea. And these sensory cells, it is present on a membrane which is called basilar membrane. And this whole structure in the middle part, in the median canal, it is called organ of Gotthard. Organ of Gotthard, which is in fact the organ of hearing. How it works? When the endolin starts vibrating because of the vibration of the oval window, the sensory cells present in this median canal starts vibrating. The hairs present in the sensory cells, it starts vibrating, which generates nerve impulses. And these nerve impulses which is generated due to the vibrations of the sound waves, it gets transmitted to our brain through these auditory canals which comes out from the cochlea. And the nerve impulses of sound waves are transmitted to our brain and our brain receives the sound. That is how we are able to hear. So this is the function of hearing which is performed by the different parts of the ear. The second function of the ear is to maintain balance. Children, there are two types of balance. One is called dynamic balance and another one is called static balance. Dynamic balance means the balance which is maintained by the body during motion. And static balance means the balance which is maintained by the body during the resting stage. So there are two parts in the inner ear which one controls the dynamic balance of the body and one controls the static balance of the body. Let us see the dynamic balance first. In the inner ear, there are three semicircular canals. Those canals are filled by endolin, liquid endolin. And the base of the semicircular canals are swollen. They are called ampulla. And in this ampulla, sensory cells are present. What happens, children? When the body moves, when the head moves, then the liquid, that is the endolin present in the semicircular canals also moves. And when they start moving, then the sensory cells present in this ampulla, they start vibrating. And when they start vibrating, the sensory cell starts vibrating, nerve impulses are generated here. And these nerve impulses are transmitted to our brain through the auditory nerves which comes out from these ampulla. And they are transmitted to the brain. And hence our brain receives the information of dynamic balance. That time the body is moving, and that is why the endolin starts moving and the sensory cells, they get stimulated and nerve impulses generated which is transmitted to the brain. This is how dynamic balance is maintained. Static balance. There is a short stain-like structure just below the semicircular canals. That is called vestibular apparatus. That vestibular apparatus, children, it is again divided into two parts, utriculus and secundus. Two parts it is divided. And these again contain sensory patches here. Sensory cells are present here. When the body is in static motion, that is in a rest, then these sensory cells present in this vestibular canals are stimulated. Vestibular apparatus are stimulated and they generate nerve impulses, which is again transmitted to the brain through a pair of nerve fibers which comes out, auditory nerve fibers, and it gets transmitted to the brain through these auditory nerve fibers, and hence the balance of our body is maintained during static condition. These are the two important functions which is performed by human ear. Let us see once the structure of the human ear in the form of a model. So this is the structure of human ear. You can see the external part, that is the pinna, and then you can see the external canal and the tympanic membrane. Then the middle part, that is the three ossicles, are present along with the eustachian tube, and finally these are the semicircular canals, and there is a spiral cochlea which is the part of inner ear. So children, this is all about the internal structure of human ear. Let us finish our session here. Thank you.